Assign coordinate systems and create shared reference points. After completing this video, you will be able to identify the current coordinate system of a file, assign the appropriate coordinate system to a Civil 3D drawing, identify the process to execute the shared reference point for Autodesk Revit, and identify what data types are exchanged between Revit and Civil 3D to create a shared reference point. In order to identify if a coordinate system has been assigned in Civil 3D, simply look for the geolocation ribbon at the top of the screen. If a coordinate system has been assigned, you'll find it on the Tool Space Settings tab, then right-click the drawing name and select Edit Drawing Settings. If drawing settings are there, you'll see a code in the code column. And if you need to change the coordinate system, you can do it by selecting the category, then selecting one of the available coordinate systems from the drop-down. If you now set a new system with geometry already in the drawing, that geometry is not affected. If you're using Civil 3D and your coworker is using Revit and you need to share information back and forth, you may want to create a shared coordinate system with Revit so that exchanging data between the software comes easily. To do this, go into the Tool Space Toolbox tab, then under Miscellaneous Utilities, Shared Reference Point, right-click on Export Shared Reference Points, and click Execute. It's going to ask you for an origin point. This is usually a known location on your site, and then it'll ask you for a north direction. I'm going to use a tree that will be saved for the project as my reference point. So I'll use the Control key, right-click, and select Node, and then use this Kogo point as my reference point. Then, making sure Ortho is on, I'll move my cursor straight up and type in 30 as my y-axis. The dialog box will come up and asking for the units. To confirm, I'm going to select feet and click OK. It's going to ask you where you'd like to save that. So I'll just click Save. If it already exists, I may want to replace it. Then I'll go over to Revit and import that shared data set. Within Revit, you'll go to the Add-ins, Import Shared Coordinates from XML Files. Click on that. It's going to ask you for the reference point. I have a tree in my Revit model to act as my reference point. Then, going straight up, again, I'll type in 30 and press Enter. It's going to ask you for which shared coordinate. I select the file that I exported and click Open. As you can see, I'm now in a shared coordinate file. Now that the XML file has been created for that shared reference point, the types of data that can be shared between Civil 3D and Revit include surfaces from Civil 3D, which can be linked into Revit, property lines, alignment data, and feature lines can be exported as DWG for use in Revit, and Revit models can be exported for reference in Civil 3D using DWG or NWC files for exchanging that data between.